Long live the king.
Long live the king, yeah.
The Queen is dead, long live the King.
Would you say long live the king?
Well, long live the king, exactly. It's, yes, the Queen is dead, long live the king.
Long live the king?
Long live the king. This is a unique moment, and I think just soak it all in. Whether you're a Republican or a monarchist, this is very, very unusual. And so, in your own way, mark the occasion.
Churchill was born in 1874 and Liz Truss was born in 1974 or thereabouts, so there's a century difference, but she spanned that century.
Only time can tell, and probably it's going to take a while for people to readjust.
Just Londoners.
Just a couple of Londoners that have scammed their way through life and still scamming it.
I think they all should be arrested and get their upcomings, but it's not going to happen.
Why?
Money. Money and power.
I don't think she's nostalgic for the Empire at all.
There's always difficulties in a family and she had to cope with that, she had to cope with Diana, but she did it with great dignity, kept quiet when it was right to keep quiet.
Because they've got friends in high places and they've got a lot of money.
I say this way, because these are the last 2 days. Maybe tomorrow, maybe happen. We don't know.
I think her death was a warning.
Yeah, this is the
Excuse me, ma'am, the Queen died today anyway.
I'm pretty indifferent.
Pretty indifferent to the Queen's death. What about the royal family?
Just not really interested in them. I'd prefer if we didn't have a monarchy.
What?
I prefer if we didn't have a monarchy.
How come?
Just there's no need for it in this day and age, is there? It's a very elitist system.
What has the monarchy actually done for us?
I suppose people could argue that maybe it attracts some tourism.
Do you think it does?
I don't really personally feel like it does, but I can't really prove either way. But I don't feel like it does. But I think that's an argument I've heard.
Do you think the Queen was a good person?
I don't really know that much about her. My partner did serve in the military, so he did swear allegiance to her. So he probably knows more, but I'm kind of a pacifist, so I don't really.
Do you feel like the monarchy are racist?
I don't like the whole colonialism thing that the monarchy are linked to in the past.
Please elaborate.
Like Queen Victoria and how like she had a massive empire that was India and stuff. I don't really feel like I don't think it's a good thing.
Do you think Elizabeth carried that legacy on, or?
I don't know that much about Elizabeth as a queen. I mean, she didn't really try to radically change it, did she? But I always feel like she's always been a bit of a puppet, but that's just my perception. Like my ignorant perception, not really knowing that much about the royal family. I can't really judge her as a person.
What do you think about Prince Andrew?
Not much. I don't want to talk about I think I'm done talking about it, to be honest. I grew up in Hong Kong and I've seen racism there. And a lot of that is to do with colonialism. And I feel that the monarchy and everything are linked to that whole idea of colonialism.
Hong Kong's still colonised by Britain?
No, it got handed over to the Chinese government, which isn't necessarily better for the people there, but really it should just be an independent state, and it should have stayed an independent state, free from monarchy, free from the British Empire, free from the Communist Party.
The Queen is dead. Have you got anything to say about it?
It's sad, man.
Sorry, pardon?
It's sad. It's sad. We don't live here, but we arrived half an hour after she died, so it was very sad.
And
it's all time.
So I was going to ask you, do you know anything about the Great British Empire?
I like a little bit, but not enough to answer on it, no.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Is there anything you want to say to the people that are mourning currently?
I hope everyone feels better soon.
Today, the Queen has passed away.
And how does that make you feel?
Well, a devotee of Krishna, he knows that we're not this body. Actually, what dies is only the body. But what is eternally living is the true self, the soul. So the soul, it never dies, right? So actually, the Queen, she never died. So the soul simply went on to another body. The body is always changing. One time you had a body of a young boy, next time you have a body of an adult girl or boy.
Reincarnation?
Yes, that is reincarnation already going on in our lifetimes. Reincarnation is not just something that happens after life or after death, it is happening all the time. So as I said, from a baby girl queen to a young girl queen, now to a very old girl queen, the body is changing, the mind is changing, the intelligence is changing, but that person perceiving those changes, the real self, the you, you stay the same. You stay eternally the same.
Do you believe in karma then, I'm guessing?
Of course, yes.
The Queen had good karma or bad karma?
Oh, that is a mixed opinion. The Queen definitely, she had to have very good karma in order to come to the position of the Queen. But right now we can see that she was well, it's like that, you know, the queens or the monarchs, the leaders of the society, they are responsible for all the actions of their people. So you can see the people of England are very sinful, eating a lot of meat, killing a lot of animals, killing each other, also doing all kinds of cheating, gambling and so on. So this is Queen's responsibility. A true king or queen, they would take care that this would never happen. So sinful activities would not go on. So of course she did possibly something good. The best thing that the Queen did was actually she was reading this very book, the Bhagavad Gita, believe it or not.
The Queen was reading that?
The Bhagavad Gita, yeah. She said that Krishna is very nice and I wish Krishna would take care of England.
Where can I find that?
The quote? I can send it to you if you give me your details. It's online, but also what we can show you is the devotees in the 70s. They would give the garlands worn by God, by Krishna. They would give the garland to the Queen and she would bow down to receive the garland. So that is very good for her. So that is very good. Even if she had a lot of bad karma, the simple fact that she took some mercy from God and that she praised God publicly also, that is beyond all the good and bad karma. That is spiritual. That will never be forgotten.
So you said karma put her in that position. So would you also say that karma put everyone else in positions of power in the position they're in?
Yes, karma means activity. So whatever activity we have performed in the previous lives, those rewards we are reaping now. Right? Similarly, like in this life, if I'm doing something, if I decide to do something, even in this life, some things will come to fruition. Like for example, a very gross example, if I now decide to start become an alcoholic, to start drinking a lot of alcohol, you can see in those that consume too much alcohol how their body changes over time. Right? They become more degraded, they become uglier, their teeth start rotting and all these things. So this is the result of our activities. So similarly, we are reaping our activities from the previous lives. Otherwise, how can you explain that some child is born in a very rich family with practically a golden spoon in the mouth, all the money, everything taken care of, but some children are born in Sahara, in the desert, in the middle of the desert with no food, no water and so on.
So you think the Queen did something really, really amazing in her past life to end up in the position that she was in?
Not just one past life, but it's accumulation. See, something, yeah, but yes, in essence, yes.
Where do you think she'll go now?
Oh, that you cannot know, but that only depends on the person, on the person's consciousness. It depends on my consciousness. It is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, yam yam vapi smaram bhavam. So that means that whatever state of mind one is meditating on at the time of death, that state of the body he achieves the next life. So if you're thinking of how to have sex, of how to eat, how to sleep, how to be like an animal, then you get an animal body. But if you are thinking about God, if you are thinking about higher principles of life, then you get a more elevated body where you can be easier to reach that level of spiritual self-realization. Very simple.
So what brings you here, buddy?
Well, I'm the town crier of the Camden markets. I've been a crier here for 28, 29 years. I've lost count. My job is to encourage people to visit various areas and introduce products here on the market. And even with technology, they still need a mechanic like me to get them through the door.
Regarding what's going on today?
Imagine the Queen passed away yesterday. Today is what they call day one, when the King Charles III comes back to London, and we know that the Queen will be following him shortly after she spent some time in Scotland. My job, really, as much as I'd like to go out and proclaim about the death of the Queen or the King or whatever, that's the job of the Earl Marshal. Under the Earl Marshal, who's the Duke of Norfolk, we have the Court of Heralds. They're the ones who wear the fancy outfits of the lions and fleur-de-lis, and they will go to the four corners of the United Kingdom, to the capitals, and proclaim the news. And the following day, which is Sunday, the Lord Lieutenants will direct the county house sheriffs around the country. They will proclaim the death of the Queen on the steps of the town halls or whatever, followed by the mayor. The town crier don't get a look in on this one. Today, I actually, as we've had an hour of cannons and gun firing, I went by a local church to say my prayers today. There was one chap having to ring the bell by himself for an hour, so I took my jacket off and I had to go as well to give the man a rest. So I felt like I've contributed.
How does the death make you feel?
I was pretty good, because I knew it was going to happen. But when I saw the little skit with the Queen and Paddington Bear, the thing about this, what do you keep in your bag? And she brings out, oh, I keep sandwiches in my bag. And that just triggered me off, you know. You know, 'cause it just shows how human she is and how she likes a bit of fun. Oh, yay. How she likes to have a bit of fun, you know. And to be involved in that skit, I thought that was a beautiful thing. Worked with her on numerous, 3 or 4 occasions.
The Queen?
Yeah, Toastmaster. And I also led a royal parade when she visited Hitchin in Hertfordshire. And I led the royal car. And I spent about 4 or 5 minutes with her afterwards, having a little chinwag, talking about another gig we were on together. And she got a marvellous memory and fantastic sense of humour.
Is that you?
That's me. I've been crier 28 years on the market. And I got 2 Guinness records, 2 Guinness Book of Records. I'll just show you one now. One for being the loudest town crier in the world with 112.8 decibels, and a record for vocal endurance where I cried a 100-word proclamation every 15 minutes for 48 hours.
You get paid to cry?
Well, I'm a professional. So I do all my charity stuff for nothing, but I make a living as a crier because when I first became town crier, I was back in the late 80s. Back in the late 80s, terrible, isn't it? You think about that. There was not a lot of work around. We were in the doldrums, you know, we're going through a recession, and I was just doing a bit of farm labouring. And when I became town crier, I started to push the boat out. And as a crier, you're allowed to do commercial work on top of your civic duties.
Can you show us an example of what a crier does?
Well, I've been here for 4 hours pitching, so here we go. Stand back a bit. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! My lords, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the world famous Camden Market and especially Holy Wharf, the largest international food court in the world. Food from the 4 corners of the globe. Also jewellery, perfume, pottery, ceramics and collectibles. Adolescent schoolboys who are having problems with their testosterone. But anyway, that's just an example. They put me off my thread, but never mind.
Could you cry about the Queen?
No, I'm not going to cry about the Queen because I sound very disrespectful.